Yo, what up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is 3 Count Reviews. I'm your host JP. As always, hit that subscribe button, give a like. Now let's get into it. This is the go home show for the greatest Royal Rumble, Monday Night Raw. So first to open Monday Night Raw, we started with the Bruno Sammartino video package. I think amongst all the video packages that the WWE puts out, you know, they're all beautiful. They're all so very well done. This one just seemed like it had a lot of just impact to it. Same with the Dusty Rhodes video package. There was just a lot of weight in it, and it was just really, really beautiful. Very well done. And I know he's watching down on the WWE universe and all the current superstars and past superstars from heaven, and yeah, we just wouldn't, a lot of what we know in the WWE wouldn't be the way it is without Bruno Sammartino. So rest in peace. God bless the family, and much prayer. Then we open up with Brock and Paul Heyman coming out for their promo. Very well done. This is to lead up to the greatest Royal Rumble. Then we see Roman Reigns come out, which is interesting because it seems like St. Louis really is behind Roman Reigns. It has been speculated on a few other wrestling channels that there's a crowd of people seeming to be placed there on purpose. I will say this. If that group of fans that we saw cheering for Roman Reigns and starting the Roman chant, that was actually referenced to several times, you know, by the cameraman and whatnot. My thing is that if these fans were planted, WWE should have done a better job about not making it so obvious. This camera work on them was very interesting because the camera work made it seem completely fake. I don't know how many of you out there saw it and thought twice about it, but as soon as I saw these 4 or 5 takes to these same group of people cheering for Roman, it just seemed all too planned. Nobody knows for sure. One of the fans had responded to Wrestle Talk TV stating, you know, in some sort of anger that you know, he wasn't a fake fan and this and that, but then again, who's to know for sure. Later we're gonna find out that we're gonna get the Sami and Kevin show. We also find out that later in the main event, to make it fair for the women's division, they will have a 10-woman tag match. Next we get the Elias intro. Elias is just unbelievably over, just like Braun Strowman, out of nowhere. I can't even fathom, you know, it's just amazing how much the universe is behind him. I'm one of those people. I think he's absolutely wonderful. As he's about to perform, Bobby Roode comes out and cuts him off. The timing I thought was perfect. This is the official debut for Roode. You know, we see him in singles competition on Monday Night Raw. Then we get a match between Elias, Bobby Roode. Oh, we also see that Booker T is back on commentary. Welcome back, Booker. And then all of a sudden we see Elias win over Bobby Roode, which in turn for Bobby Roode is probably not a good thing booking-wise. This kind of puts him a little bit low on the card perspective, so we'll see where this takes him. Next, we have a tag team match with Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt versus The Ascension. This was just a nice filler match just to get the crowd behind Woken Matt and Bray even more. Obviously, there are going to be a few of the competitors taking place in the 50-man Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, Bray and Matt get the win over The Ascension. Next, we finally get the Sami and Kevin show with their special guest, Kurt Angle. Their set was really enjoyable to look at. You know, they had pictures of when they were beating up Shane and dragging him around and whatnot. And then when Kurt Angle came out, they're all in their nice seats and Kurt Angle's in a lawn chair. This spot was really good. It pretty much just led to the fact of Kurt Angle reminding them that there's quite a few people gunning for those two, and that because they're in the greatest Royal Rumble and these people that are gunning for them are also in the greatest Royal Rumble, that maybe they should watch their backs. Then we find out that later tonight it's going to be Sami and Kevin versus Lashley and Braun Strowman. This should be very fun to watch. Next, we see Seth Rollins backstage in a small little promo featuring Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They're trying to join and rejoin, or remake the Shield, I should say, with Seth Rollins. After The Miz has been moved to SmackDown, the Miztourage kind of doesn't really know where they belong. This was a funny segment. It was nice and short, but I like where they're going with Axel and Bo with their characters right now. I don't know what it's going to lead to. I just like what they're doing with them. Next, we have the Progressive ad save commercial. I like these Progressive promos. They're funny to me. the way they set them up. I see what they're doing with it, where they got the inspiration from. But all in all, I think it works. It takes your advertisement within, you know, this 3-hour show to not just a regular commercial, but something that still engages the audience not only there but at home into your content on a consistent basis. It was funny, it was enjoyable, so you know, let's keep it moving. Next we see Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus Titus Worldwide. Of course, Dolph and Drew take the win over Titus, absolutely destroyed them, beat them up all over the place. I like this pairing between Dolph and Drew right now. At first I wasn't sure about it, but after the promo that Drew gave at the end of the match, I like it right now. I want to know what it's going to lead up to. If it's just to put Drew over a little bit, you know, Dolph is just that guy right now that's just kind of doing these odd jobs, so to speak, and he just shows up when he needs to, and that's it. But Dolph does put in a lot of work, so maybe there's a lot behind this storyline. I'm excited for their future, but I'm excited to see Drew McIntyre back on the main roster. Although I'll say kind of what I said last time, I still wish he was in NXT, because I think it would have been right to put him back into that picture to regain his championship title, or maybe even now the North American Championship, but who knows. After that, we get Jinder Mahal versus Chad Gable, with a surprise win from Chad Gable over Jinder Mahal with the roll-up. This was a solid match. I think it was a good build for Chad Gable, you know, now that he's on Raw, but Jason Jordan is still out injured, and that's not kayfabe, that's true. I thought this was a good build, and it was a surprise because you expected Chad to actually be the throwaway and Jinder take the win leading up to his match coming up at the Greatest Royal Rumble. But they gave Chad Gable the push, and I think it works because it still keeps Jinder Mahal in the same position since he is a heel. After that, we get a promo from the Riot Squad. I like what this group is doing. I think they're building well, especially now with Absolution not being that idea that they first were because of the unfortunate career-ending experience for Paige. I like where Riot Squad is going. I think these three girls have found a way to be very charismatic towards the camera in their own way, and I think just with more time and more practice and more opportunities, it's just going to get better and better. The Samoa Joe cell phone promo, which, you know, whether he does a cell phone promo, a Facebook promo, a live promo, it doesn't matter what kind of promo, this man can talk. Just like Bray Wyatt at his best, this man can deliver line after line after line. Just pushing himself over, talking about Roman Reigns, reminding everyone that, you know, whatever happens after the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, it's over at Backlash. It's over for good, and you're gonna look at your new champion and this and that. So once again, I can't consistency. Now we see Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas approaching Finn Balor, trying to rekindle the Balor Club now that Gallows and Anderson have been moved to SmackDown Live with AJ Styles. This was just as hilarious as the first segment with Seth Rollins, trying to rekindle Balor Club, trying to give a little too sweet. Finn walks away, comes back, puts their hands down. It was just really, really good. Like I said, this current whatever direction they're taking with the Miztourage, I like it. I just want to know where it's going, because I love Axel and Bo together. I think the comedy work is brilliant. I think involving Seth and Finn is brilliant because they have great comedic timing. So we'll see where it goes. We finally get the Lashley Strowman tag team match versus Sami and Kevin. We knew this was gonna be something of a spectacle because of how over Braun Strowman is. Of course, with the whole Nicholas angle, most people would think that this would hurt Braun, you know, being over with the crowd and whatnot. This did nothing but build him 10 times over. And then we see Braun Strowman kill Kevin Owens like 3 times. The first time and second time were the absolute best. Kevin is a hell of a seller, but Braun Strowman just clips him into the barricade, kills him 3 times. So good. I laughed my ass off. It was absolutely good. Oh man, if you guys haven't seen it, there has to be a clip. Then we see Braun Strowman pancake Sammy with his patented power slam. Of course, they get the win, no surprise. Seeing Lashley and Strowman together was not bad, but we know it's probably something that's not going to last too long. For Lashley, I really hope he doesn't get shafted. Lashley, to me, is top tier talent. You know, there was a reason he was top tier on Impact, and now that he's back in the WWE, yes, there's a lot of talent, but just stop shafting your talent. Then we get the video promo saying Baron Corbin is coming up next. No Way Jose then comes out with his party people. It's not really doing anything for No Way. I think the one thing that was really good about him in NXT was that it was just him building himself. This cool party guy that was dancing, you know, felt like he had this Brazil capoeira vibe, and now they're trying to do this rosebud thing with him, and I don't know if it's helping him. So then we get a promo by Baron Corbin saying he's not going to waste his time on No Way Jose. The match isn't going to happen, or so we think. No Way Jose then takes his party people as they're dancing around. They're about to exit, and then Baron Corbin attacks No Way Jose from behind, and we pretty much don't get a match, but we get Baron Corbin showing us who he really is. After that, we get one hell of a segment from Alexa Bliss, a moment of bliss. I died my ass off laughing. This was comedy beyond everything. When her promos are there, she's awesome. She's wonderful to watch. She is comedy. The angle they're taking right now with how she's coming up with this whole anti-bullying, you know, story, campaign, speech type thing, and pinning Nia Jax as the bully, even though we all know Alexa's the one who's the real bully here. I just thought it was so good. I hope they keep this a moment of bliss segment going. It's kind of like, you know, the list of Jericho. I really feel like this is something that could really go far for her if the WWE treat it right. Then we finally get the tag match, Seth and Finn versus The Miz Taraj. Of course, Seth and Finn take the win. Then we see a few of the ladies from the women's 10-women tag team match that will be taking place as the main event. We have Nia, Moon, Natty, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. They're all standing in a row. Of course, you have WrestleTalk TV. Shout out. Of course, we have Natty standing in the middle, telling all the ladies what she feels like the game plan should be, what it's going to be, how it's going to be like, how they need to stand tall and do this and that. And then those three ladies, Natty, Ember Moon, Nia, exit. We see Sasha Banks and Bayley staring at each other, but then Bayley is the one that leaves and walks out on Sasha. Cool, we're going somewhere now. Finally, we get to the main event, 10-women tag team match. As I said before, Natty, Nia, Ember, Sasha Banks, Bayley versus Riot Squad, Mickey, and Alexa Bliss. Then we see Natty get a chop block to her knee. As Riot Squad keep attacking the knee, then we finally see Ronda Rousey come out once again for the save. Then Ronda Rousey out of nowhere with the takedown from hell. I swear to everything I love, WWE is doing a brilliant job of building Ronda Rousey to look like this absolute wrestler. Like, yes, we know she can fight, duh, the UFC. But to do it in the WWE and to do it in a more scripted format is a completely different animal, i.e. Brock Lesnar. We know this. So, with that being said, they're doing a great job of making Ronda look like the most top tier talent that she is supposed to be, that we know she's supposed to be. So that takedown, I jumped out of my chair. She looks good every time they bring her out. Keep this going. That was it. That was the end of the match. Then we get a promo for the Greatest Royal Rumble going on this Friday, y'all. This Friday. This is going to be one hell of an event. All titles are up for the line, at least on the men's division. Maybe we'll talk about that in my next video. Anyways, this has been 3 Count Reviews. If you enjoyed today's episode, as always, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, give a like, and I'll see you guys next time.